got a lot of these T60 and T61 keyboards lying around from different laptops that I pulled them from, and they've got a Trackpoint built into them, which is a really convenient pointing device to use because it's built into the keyboard and you don't have to move your hands away in order to get to your mouse. It makes moving really easy, and I've been wanting to adapt this to a desktop for a while now. So this here is literally just one of these same modules that's been pulled out of the bottom of another keyboard, and the really convenient thing about these is that they actually run off of PS2, not PlayStation 2, but just the old standard for keyboards and mice that PCs used to use. And even more convenient is that despite the mouse buttons being part of the keyboard, there are actually leads for all of the mouse buttons on the back of the Trackpoint module itself. So there's a possibility for a super small, really low profile pointing device that's PS2 compatible, that's an upside and a downside, in this small of a package, which it's tiny. So I've got a PS2 lead here from an old mouse that's already been stripped. We're going to look up a couple of diagrams and see if we can't adapt this to a normal computer that I'm using. Okay, so that looks like all of the wires combined onto the board. Really simple. It's literally 4 wires. Okay, moment of truth. Yeah, that looks like it's working. That's not bad at all. So right now I don't have any buttons hooked up, but we can test it really fast. We should be able to short pins 5 and 4 and then get a button click. Wasn't that easy? So yeah, it's about that easy. Right now what I'm going to do is restart my computer and see if it auto-installs the drivers specifically for this model of Trackpoint. I really doubt it because it's just seeing it as a dumb PS2 mouse. But let's give it a shot. Okay, so it kind of sucks that it doesn't detect it as anything more than just a dumb PS2 mouse. It doesn't help that well, I'm actually testing this on another ThinkPad, so it already has a Trackpoint built in, so it's just going to see this as a second one that's being connected over a PS2 to USB converter. That's not so good. And it does that sometimes. Pretty sure that's just... Yeah, that's actually me touching the circuit board that's causing that. That's kind of fun. But I think from this point on, what we need is a case and a couple of buttons, and this can serve pretty well as a tiny little pointing device that doesn't take up as much room as, say, a mouse that you actually need a dedicated space to move around, or even something like a trackball, which is relatively big compared to this. It's, you know, hardly bigger than your nav cluster. So, version 2.